So what if I told you the next Google Foldable might not just survive a dunk in water, but could also shrug off dust like it's nothing? I know, sounds like a marketing fantasy, right? But that's exactly what the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is rumored to be doing. And if even half of these leaks turn out to be true, we might be looking at the first foldable that feels like it's finally done baking. Welcome back, viewers. Sam here. And before we dive deep into this tech rabbit hole, remember to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the kind of juicy leaks that make your current phone suddenly feel very last season. Now, Google's approach this year is fascinating. Usually, when a company gets this close to launch, they tighten the leak faucet. But Google, they've practically taken the faucet off the sink and said, "Hair, have at it." We're talking official teasers, accidental uploads, and leakers tripping over each other to drop fresh clips. It's gotten to the point where you almost wonder if some of these accidents are just clever hype building. And in the middle of all that noise, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is emerging as the real showstopper. A few weeks ago, we got our first peek at the standard Pixel 10 Pro. Clean visor, polished edges, that unmistakable Pixel vibe. Nice, but not earth-shattering. Then, boom, a short video drops showing the Pixel 10 Pro Fold in action. Not a still image, not a blurry prototype shot, an actual crystal clear clip of it unfolding, hinge moving like butter, screens lighting up in perfect sync, and instantly you can feel that this is a refinement year, not just for Google, but maybe for the entire foldable category. See, here's the thing with foldables. They've always been a trade-off. You get that magic tablet in your pocket feeling, but you also get compromises, weird aspect ratios, fragile hinges, and a sense that you're holding a prototype someone decided to sell early. Dust has been the silent killer here. Hinges are basically tiny moving parts factories, and even a grain of sand can do damage. That's why most foldables skip the full dust rating, because sealing that gap is like trying to keep flour out of your kitchen while baking cookies with the windows open. And yet, leaks say the Pixel 10 Pro Fold might have a full IP68 rating. That's not partial dust resistance. That's zero dust penetration plus serious water resistance. And if you think that's just a checkbox feature, think about what it means in real life. You're at the beach, fine. You drop it in the garden, no problem. You accidentally leave it on the counter while making coffee and get a little espresso splash. It'll laugh it off. Compare that to something like the Galaxy Z Fold 7, which is a fantastic phone, but still only has IP48, meaning it can block dust particles bigger than a millimeter, but can't guarantee safety against fine dust or sand. It's like wearing a raincoat that only works if the raindrops are big enough to see. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold is also trimming the fat, literally. That hinge gap that used to be big enough to slide a business card through, practically gone. This isn't just about looks, though it does make the profile sleeker. It's about durability, less stress on the display, and that satisfying high-end snap when you close it. The outer screen is getting a smidge wider too. Doesn't sound like a big deal until you've lived with a narrow cover screen and found yourself unfolding the device just to reply, "Okay," to a message. That little width boost means you can actually live on the outer screen without feeling cramped. Under the hood, Google's going all in on the Tensor G5 chip, built on TSMC's advanced ThirNM process. And that's not just marketing jargon, it means higher efficiency, cooler temps, and more room for Google's AI party tricks, things like real-time translation, instant photo editing, and smarter battery optimization could all feel faster and more natural. Pair that with up to 16 gigs of RAM and either 256 or 512 gigs of storage, and you're looking at a true flagship. And yes, I know, the camera hardware might still be the 50MP Samsung GM8 sensor we've seen before. On paper, that's not an upgrade, but Google's computational photography has a history of making average sensors punch way above their weight. Remember the Pixel 3? That phone embarrassed multi-lens setups with a single camera just by flexing its software muscles. Battery, wise, we're still in the 4650 mAh ballpark. That's fine, especially if the efficiency gains from the Tensor G5 and TSMC's processor are as good as predicted. The real surprise, though, might be the price. Rumor has it $1,599 at launch. That's $200 less than the original Pixel Fold. For context, when foldables first hit the scene, you couldn't even say hello to one without spending $2,000 or more. Now, we're getting flagship build, potentially class-leading durability, and better AI features at a slightly less kidney-shaped price. Of course, the August 20th Made by Google event isn't just about the Fold. The Pixel 10 series as a whole is shaping up to be Google's most confident lineup yet. The standard Pixel 10 and Pixel 10 Pro look like they're sticking with what works. Big bright displays, clean software, and Google's AI integration, but they're also sneaking in smaller tweaks that make daily life smoother. The Pixel Watch 4 is keeping its beautiful dome, shaped glass, and rotating crown, but there's a new charger design that finally fixes one of the biggest gripes from before. And yes, the Pixel Buds 2a are floating around in leak territory too, though there's a hint that both the watch and buds could see a slight delay. Still, Google's stacking the deck. Buy a Pixel 10 and you get a full year of Google AI Pro with 2 TB of cloud storage for free. That's the kind of bundle that turns fence sitters into buyers, especially when competing brands are still dangling 6-month trials like they're doing you a favor. And here's where I think this gets really interesting. This isn't a wild reinvention year for Google's hardware. This is a confidence year. They've tried things, failed in public, learned fast, and now they're tightening the screws. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold isn't screaming for attention with gimmicks. It's quietly saying, yeah, we fixed the stuff you hated. If they've really nailed dust protection, improved the hinge, kept the design clean, boosted the AI brain, and cut the price, then this could be the year foldables stop feeling like experiments and start feeling like the future. So the big question isn't just, will you buy it? It's, if this is where Google is now, where will they be in 2 years? Because if the Fold is already this polished, imagine the Pixel 12 Fold. Imagine the point where the only reason to not get a foldable is because you just like slabs. That's the kind of shift we might be watching unfold, pun intended, right in front of us.